Hey everybody, how's it going? Let's talk about begging and pleading. And this is a wake-up call for certain parents and certain individuals. Years ago when I was younger, I wasn't real connected. I wasn't very connected to my dad. He was an absentee father living in the home. You know, and that's just the way it was. He was a good provider. We weren't close when I was little. And so I always remember my aunt told me when I was little, let's say 3, 4, 5 years old, I'd cling on to the men in my family just for some affection because I didn't get a hug from my dad. And that's just the way it was. I don't want you to feel sad for me. That was my life. And so fortunately, I had a lot of loving uncles and cousins and things like that who kind of stepped up. And so that was probably my norm from birth on. And I just remember throughout my teen years, I begged for a relationship. You know, it was, I had. And so, oh, my kids disconnected. Oh, please don't do this. I love you. Can you please come back? It's terrible, like, this and that. And I was begging and pleading. I was probably at my lowest since breaking up from my one true love way back in the military. I was a begging fool. And after a while, you kind of get used to it. And I just want to say the worst place to be is in a position where you have to beg and plead for someone to give you a crumb or a leftover or whatever. So if you feel it's okay and the person on the opposite end doesn't react to your pain, just know there are some people in this world who get off on seeing other people cry. And it's the saddest when it comes from our very own flesh and blood. I have not met one single parent who boasts that their son or daughter is a jerk. I think it's probably one of the most embarrassing situations when your children have no respect for you. And little does everybody else know, they call you names, they steal from you, they abuse your goodwill and your cheer, they take you for a ride. You have supported them financially, mentally, emotionally, etc., and you're getting crapped over. I mean, who wants to admit that they are being abused in a way by their own children? Nobody wants to admit that. And I think it's even worse to admit that we've allowed it in some sort of way. Because people will only treat you the way they're allowed to. And as much as I want to point the fingers at my daughters and say they're terrible people, well, if they're treating me badly, that's because they have been led to believe somewhere deep down that it's okay. And then I, on the other hand, was too afraid to stop it out of fear that they would leave. And they left anyways. So I don't care what you have to do. I don't care if you lock yourself in a padded room, if you go to jail for the night, if you have a friend take your cell phone. Stop begging and stop pleading. As I've stated before, there's 8.7 billion people in this world. If you're weird, you can find another weirdo to hang out with. I don't care what you have to do. If you got to join a church, join a group, go back to school, do something. Get a part-time job. You'll make friends there. But anyways, stop begging. Stop pleading. And don't wait for them to come back, because chances are they won't. And that's just the way it is. So anyways, that's all I want to talk about, and I hope you have a great day.